Well, hey y'all, today we are going to make a pot of rice to go with our red beans and rice that we're going to do to go with our dinner today. What I'm going to get going first is 2 1/4 cups of fresh water. I'm going to put this in my heavy bottom pan here. And I'm going to turn this up on high, let it get hot. Now I'm using salted butter because that's what I like. But if you were using just plain butter, you could put a pinch of salt in this if you wanted to. But I'm just going to take off what looks like a tablespoon of butter. And we're going to bring this to a boil. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Arkansas rice. Arkansas produces more rice than any other state in America. It is pretty, that was a Christmas gift. I just absolutely love this. But we produce more rice than any other state in the United States. And you take all the states that produce rice, we produce a little over half of all the rice that is produced in America. And there are so many kinds of rice, y'all. So many times we think rice has to be light and fluffy. And what is going on over here? Something must have been on the bottom of that burner. But so often we think rice has to be one certain way, light and fluffy. Well, there are all kinds of rice varieties that produce a different type of rice. You have a soft, it's not soft, you have a short grain, a medium grain, a long grain. There's wild rice, there's red rice, which is beautiful, but whenever we accidentally, if you get red rice growing on your farm, you can absolutely ruin your rice crop. And so I know a lot of red rice is in gourmet mixes, but y'all, that's really hard to produce any of that on a farm where you're trying to have a nice, clean crop that the mills will take. But the what I'm using today is a basmati rice, and it's an aromatic rice, and often they call it a popcorn rice because it has kind of a popcorn smell when it's cooking. But you do have to cook the brown rice a little bit longer, which is what we're going to have today, because the brown rice goes so well with your really hearty meals in the winter, like your gumbos and your roast and your, well, like red beans and rice today, which I'm doing a copycat Popeyes recipe, which is my favorite. I love it. But you would take your rice. I have 1 cup, and I have washed this and rinsed it very, very well to get all the surface starch washed off. And that will help it not stick together. A sushi rice, you want to be gummy and sticky because it has to stick together. A really light, fluffy rice would fall out of a sushi and you would lose the integrity of the roll. So I'm going to let this come to a boil, and we'll get back together and we'll pour our rice in. So y'all don't go nowhere. Okay, y'all, this has come to a boil. And I'm going to add my rice slowly so it doesn't cool it off and stop it from boiling. And you know, my daddy, well, let's start from the beginning. Both of my grandfathers were rice farmers in Northeast Arkansas. And my daddy and his brothers were rice farmers in Northeast Arkansas. And my husband and my son are rice farmers in Northeast Arkansas. And my mother, I bet in her lifetime she had cooked a bob truck full of rice. And I wish it didn't have the bad rap that it gets, because it's not bad for us. It's very good for us. It has so many vitamins in it, especially whenever you use the brown rice. And let me give that a quick stir, and I'm going to turn this on simmer. There we go. Turn that on simmer, and I'm going to put my lid on it. I'm not going to peek, and I'm going to let it sit here for 45 minutes. The difference between the white rice and the brown rice, it is the exact same, it comes off the exact same plant. It's the exact same thing. You have the hull, and then you have the grain of rice is covered with a bran, B-R-A-N, and then it has the kernel of the rice, the white rice. And they take the hull off, and then you have brown rice. They put this through a polishing machine and takes that bran off, and then you have white rice. And both are perfect for different recipes. I love to make a fluff and desserts with white rice. And when I do that, a lot of times I'll cook it with half water and half pineapple juice. And it just gives it more of a tropical. And this, of course, like I said a while ago, is so good with anything that's a good hearty wintertime meal. So anyway, that's just a little bit about rice. And I will reshare a video. I had so much fun doing this. Summer before last, my son let me ride on his combine and film. And so we were combining rice and we just had so much fun. And then I got on the tractor with my husband and we rolled it down and it was a lot of fun. So I'll reshare that. So if you're interested to see take a little bite of some Arkansas rice, that video will follow this one. And also I'll put the link to Cache River Rice, and they're also in Northeast Arkansas, but they're a small family-owned meal. Sweet people. So I'm going to set my timer, and I'll see y'all back in about 50 minutes, and we'll test it, and we'll see if it's done. So don't go nowhere. Okay, y'all, our rice is done. I let it cook about 50 minutes, and it depends on your water. Our water is very, very hard. It's delicious to drink, but it's very hard. So it will depend on your water as to how long it kind of takes. And what I usually do, I follow the directions, and then whenever I take my lid off, a lot of times my water there'll still be water in there. The rice is completely done. Let me dip me up some of this while we're talking here, because I'm going to save this to go with this red beans and rice we've got going over here. But I just turned it up just a little bit, and I just stood here and did not let it scorch until the water had evaporated, because the rice itself was done. But y'all, please don't be scared of rice. It's a very healthy plant. Of course, everything in moderation. If you do the one that has the bran on it, it'll have more B vitamins, and the bran slows it down when it's going through the digestive situation, and it doesn't, the way I understand it, the carbs are not as absorbed from the bran. But you do your own research on that, y'all. I'm just a housewife that likes to cook a lot. But don't be afraid of rice. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So it's so good, y'all. There were so many times growing up for breakfast, if we had leftover rice from dinner the day before, I just put a pat of butter on it and heat it up and just have that for breakfast. It's just so good. And so versatile. You can do anything with it. And it keeps millions and millions of people alive every year all across the world. So don't be hating on my rice plant, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. And we're going to serve us up some of this delicious Popeyes Copycat red beans and rice. And I'll attach the link to the Cache River Valley people if you just want to go and read about it and see. You know, they have a lot of interesting things on there. They have some good recipes on there too. And I will, after I post the red beans and rice recipe, I will repost the one where we're riding the combine so you can see how pretty it is in Arkansas. So I'll see y'all next time, and go have a rice day.